What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. I'm your host, Natalia, and today, I feel like I always do. I feel like I always do this. I'm like, Okay, well, today, what shall we talk about? Oh, I would like to touch the topic of let's call it the spiritual trend. And this is something I thought about recently, simply because so I know I talked about my family in the previous episode, but let me just touch on what started this topic in mind. So my grandmother, right? She's very she doesn't, well, she's old, so she doesn't really know like what's really going on, I guess I would say. She only knows like what she thinks is going on. But then again, like no one really knows what's going on. We only know what we think is going on, I guess you would say, because everything's just like ideals. But I'll get into that later. Um, so yeah, this whole like getting into spirituality kind of thing, the whole new age thing is very much up and rising at the moment, and trending, I would say. And that's how she sees it. She's like, it's very in trend, so it's necessary to act on it now before the trend dies out, because people go through phases. Society goes through a lot of trends come and go. So that got me thinking, is this new age trend actually a trend? I mean, it seems like it, like with everything. It seems like it, because it is very popular now, and a lot of people, every like chakras, the phrase chakras is a very like new agey term nowadays, and it's known by a lot of people who don't even really know what chakras are. And it got me thinking, yeah, is all of this actually a trend, and is it gonna die out soon? So, but then again, like, okay, is it gonna die out soon is the question. Yeah, a lot of people who, it'll only die out, I would say, for people who see it as a trend and then, get caught up in the next big thing, the next new thing. But for people who actually see spirituality for what it is, a true essence, it's not really a trend. It's just gaining the knowledge that it exists and it's present, and then I guess carrying on, not focusing on it, but knowing that it's there, that could be a thing. And then also people who just intend to dive into it for the rest of their lives. But then, like, okay, if it is a trend, back in the 60s, when the Beatles were around, all these peace protests and all new age spiritual hippie stuff was out, that was also a trend, you would say. So did it die down? But then again, like, I'm thinking back then, did they know, like, is the spiritual stuff that's trending now, was that also trending back then? Because I think like maybe like world peace and like yoga and kind of like a broad over wow, a broad kind of spectrum of spirituality was trending at the time, but not really diving deep into certain topics or certain elements of it, such as how would I say, maybe chakras, I guess, and like what chakras actually are. And what else is a thing a lot of people, oh, manifestation or law of attraction. Did people know? Well, okay, but then also like Wayne Dyer and Abraham Hicks, I believe that their lectures were going on, was it during the 60s? Was Abraham Hicks and Wayne Dyer's lectures going on during this time as well? Because their topic mainly is law of attraction and manifestation. So did also people know about that at that time too? And then if so, is everything that's trending now, was it also trending back then? And did that die down and then we just got back into it? That would make me think like trends are running in cycles. And this is something I thought about before, because kind of like bell bottom jeans, or like, that's just an example, or maybe like something else, think more like fashion trends seem to loop a lot. Things that were popular back in the 70s, I can't think of anything specific because I don't really know about, like, specific fashion trends that are out right now. But I remember my mom telling me, like, oh, wow, that's coming back. So, like, fashion trends seem to cycle because I guess people just run out of ideas and, like, maybe just people just bring them back and then it becomes popular again, but then it dies down again. So, like, if these trends are running in cycles, is also spirituality running in a cycle as well? But I guess I would have to look into more of what was talked about during that time in the 60s and the 70s. So yeah, that just made me think about, like, okay, if this is a trend, is it gonna die down? And if so, if it does die down, it'll eventually come back up. But then again, does it do that because of the generations? So, like, maybe it was popular and trending for a certain generation, but then when the new generation came, it died down for that generation, and then they, like, focused on something else, and then the generation after that brought back that state of mind, and then I guess the next generation will focus on something else, and then the generation after that will bring back spirituality. It's super weird, but I mean, it's just something I thought about. I don't really know if that's a thing, but I mean, tell me what you guys think. I don't really know. I think, okay, so before I keep sniffling stuff, I think I have allergies, or I don't know what's going on with me, but, like, literally I've been sniffling, and then, like, my nose is super itchy. Like, the inside of my nose, it's not, like, super itchy, but, like, it itches, and then, like, I just sneeze a lot. Like, I'm just sneezing and, like, sniffling and blowing my nose. But, like, I'm not sick or anything, and this is happening for, like, the past 3 days. But then, like, I don't know if it's I've never had allergies or anything like that. Or it's like, is it allergy season, or do I just really need to clean my room? Because I'm allergic to dust, so, like, is that much dust accumulating that I'm getting, like, super sniffly and stuff? I don't know. That was just a random thing. Sorry I had to involve you in that. But yeah, so my grandmother thinks that spirituality is a trend right now, and that you know, we have to act on it fast before while people are still into manifestation, the law of attraction, and we must get into it now before it dies down. But then, like, that kind of just makes me feel uneasy in a way. But then again, like, it shouldn't really make me feel uneasy, just because, like, that's just how she sees it. But then it also made me think, like, is that actually how it is? But yeah, also, now that I spoke on manifestation, law of attraction, another topic I wanted to touch was how law of attraction and manifestation works. So a lot of people, and this is also, like, a thing that even people who aren't into spirituality, like, they read quotes on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, and they'll see, like, oh, whatever you think, you'll attract, you know, like, that's, like, the main basis of the law of attraction and manifestation. But a lot of people understand, so here's the thing, a lot of people will say this and will acknowledge this and be like, yeah, you know, like, I just manifest this and blah, 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 and they'll say it and they'll think they'll know what it is, but then, like, do they actually know what's going on, or do they think it's just, like, a phrase? They don't really know how it works, but they know it works, kind of thing. And then also, like, I talked to my mom about this too, because she's real into, I guess, like, she sees it, and then she sees how I can easily just, like, create whatever I want, basically. But it's all about, like, mastering it. You have to know how it works in order to master it. So, yeah, she was saying, like, yeah, you know, I did this and I manifested this, but then, like, I can't always do it because, like, I just don't know why. Maybe I'm not always in the state of mind, or I have some doubt or whatever. And I think that a lot of people, they know that it works because they've done it before, but they can't seem to continue doing it just because they don't know how it works. So, like, if you knew how it worked and you had a deeper understanding of how to actually follow through with it, it won't seem as much as something that happens sometimes, you know, it's just something that's happening all the time. Okay, so let me get into this. Manifestation. What let me look up the definition of manifestation. The simplest would be that a manifestation is something that is put into your physical reality through thought, feelings, or beliefs. This means that whatever you focus on is what you are bringing into your reality. Okay. So basically, manifestation is something that comes out of something that you think of in a spiritual sense. To manifest is to create, basically. When you're manifesting something, you're creating something in a way. Manifestation is always happening. It's not like, oh, I manifested this, you know, like you could say that because you consciously created that through thought form. But manifestation is always happening. For example, let me think. Okay, let me put this in a different way. It's kind of like the theory of alternate realities or different dimensions. So if you think about the way time works, or the way that we're moving through time, and this might be hard to grasp right now unless you understand, I guess, if you understand quantum physics. But so you're constantly not moving in a straight line, but kind of in a back and forth way, like left, right, not left, right specifically, but just like constantly moving in different ways. So, and I talked about this in my most recent book. And it's kind of just like, you know, creating your reality, or picking a path. So from the moment that you wake up, for example, you can choose between, let's say, cereals, Cheerios, Fruit Loops, or Frosted Flakes, whatever. You have the choice to choose between these 3 cereals. You can eat the Cheerios, you can eat the Frosted Flakes. Whatever decision you choose is one path. So, like, the second you're moving in a straight line, right? But the second you have to make this decision to eat the cereal, and you choose the Cheerios, you move left. And then when you decide to put it in the sink, or you decide to leave it next to your bed, you move right. Depending on decisions, it depends on how you move. Whatever choice you make, you're moving into that reality. But behind that is also the reality of you choosing the other option. And this is the idea of, parallel realities. There's a reality that says, like, okay, you chose to eat the Cheerios, but then there's 5 different parallel realities. One, you ate the Frosted Flakes. One, you ate the Fruit Loops. One, you decided not to eat them at all. One, you threw the bowl on the floor. Like, there's literally a reality for every single situation. That's the theory of parallel realities. So, how this ties into law of attraction, manifestation, is basically whatever choice you make will lead you on a certain path, will put you in that direction. So say you want to manifest a job, right? In order to be on the path towards that job, you want to align yourself with that path. So that means, applying for that job, learning about that job, knowing what to do about that job, or like in that job, or just whatever it is that aligns you on the path with that job. That's a source of manifesting you getting that job. So the way manifestation works is on an energetical level. Everything is energy. If you don't know this, then now you do. This is also a basic, is it physics? I don't even know if it's physics anymore. Science. Einstein said it. Everything is energy. Literally, everything has energy. Why? Because it's made up of atoms. Made up of protons, neutrons, photons, whatever it is. And all these particles, that's what everything is made up of. We're made up of. The chair you're sitting on is made up of. The headphones you're listening to in this is made up of. Just everything is made up of these particles that are vibrating. That's why everything is vibration. Everything is energy and vibration. It's energy because the vibration is creating energy. These particles are vibrating, creating energy. See? Hako agrees. So, because of this, the law of attraction says, okay, before that, since everything is energy, your thoughts are also energy. So when you put out a thought, like when you think a thought like, I am hungry, that thought in itself is energy itself. So when you say it out loud, I am hungry, the words I am hungry, or the feeling that you put to that phrase, I am hungry, is put out into the universe. That energy of that phrase, that feeling of being hungry and saying that, is put out into the rest of the energy that's vibrating around you, right? So, law of attraction says, the thoughts that you have create your reality. Like attracts like. That's what it is. Like attracts like. So, the way you're going to create your reality is that if you put the thoughts of what you want to create, you put out that exact vibration of what you want to create out into the universe, you're going to attract it simply because you're putting out the same energy that is, and since like attracts like, you're going to attract that reality. So, this is the basis of law of attraction manifestation. Say I want $1 million. I need to put out the vibration of $1 million. What's the vibration of $1 million? I guess the vibration of $1 million. Well, okay, let me not use money because money is also energy in exchange. It's kind of a harder thing to touch. So let's say manifest a house, right? A certain house. To put out the vibration of that house, you want to align yourself on the path that you would be if you had the house already. So since like attracts like, you need to put out the same energy that you would if you have the house already. So that would be, and if you seriously want to get into manifestation, that would be like surrounding yourself basically with like pictures of the house, being by the house, just trying to like imagine yourself in the house, decorating it, how you would act in it, what you would do, already kind of set yourself up to getting the house, having the money, saving up the money for the house, talking about it, already putting it out there, whatever you would feel. Okay, but this is where people mess up, right? And this is why a lot of people can't create their realities and can't manifest the things that they want. A lot of people try to manifest from feelings of lack. So money, for example. Oh, I want money so bad. And then, but you're like, oh, but law of attraction, right? I am rich, I am surrounded by money. Money comes to me effortlessly. All of these affirmations and things that would align you. You surround yourself with pictures of money, All of this, you can do all of this. But when you have that feeling of lack from it, nothing's going to happen because it's the vibration that's necessary. The universe doesn't know words. The universe doesn't speak English. It only understands energy. So if you're saying, I am rich, and you're putting it out there, but inside as you're saying it from a feeling of lack because you're broke, because you're poor, and you just want the money so bad, so you're trying to manifest it. So you're like, I am rich, but inside you're like, oh, it's because I'm broke. The universe is like, bruh, you're broke, and it's gonna keep you broke. So like, you need to be emitting the vibration that you want to attract. I spent a whole summer like mastering this, trying to master this basically. And this was because I kind of read a book by Wayne Dyer, who's like speaks very much on this. And I mean, if you really want to get a law of attraction and you want to get in this mindset, I would recommend this book. It's called The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer. But I also feel like you also have to understand that there's both sides to a coin. There is duality in this existence. Put yourself in that mindset, but don't disregard your reality as it is. Don't ignore the truth of things. Don't be blind to what's around you at the moment. That's all I have to say on that. But yeah, so I spent a whole summer just like in the mind state of I am rich, but I was like super brainwashed by this book. So like I was in the headset that like I was a freaking millionaire, like I was a millionaire, like I had like, but this is how I manifested so much. I was trying to become like super famous, right? I was like trying to get into the music industry. So I was putting myself into like all these situations where I would make connections and kind of like become this person in the music industry, right? But I was manifesting these situations, and these things were coming to me, and money was coming to me simply because I was already there. In my head, my vibration, I was vibrating at the vibration of $1 million. I was vibrating at the vibration of being famous, of being in the music industry, of just being in the reality that I wanted to create in California specifically. I was literally, my mindset was I was in California. I told everybody that I already had an apartment in California, and that like, but I absolutely believed it. That was the thing. Like, even though I didn't physically have an apartment in LA already, in my head, I absolutely did. And I absolutely had $1 million, and I was famous. But because of that, it eventually manifested. So, like, I'm not saying to brainwash yourself, but maybe I wonder if I would have understood the both sides of the coin thing at the time, if I wouldn't have been able to create this reality. That's something I can experiment with if I wanted to, but it's not something I really want to. But if you want to, you can, I guess, for research purposes. But yeah, it's the whole reason I'm saying this is because in order to master the law of attraction or manifestation, you need to understand that you need to be on the vibration that you want to attract. Whether you say things or not, and you surround yourself with all this stuff, it's going to be pointless if you're not emitting the same vibration that you want to attract. So yeah, that's that's a main reason why a lot of people don't attract what they want or can physically master the law of attraction or manifestation. If you understand this to the fullest degree, you won't have any problem manifesting anything. But that's that on that topic. What else did I want to talk about? Let's see. Something else that I wanted to talk about is something more personal. I feel like lately I've been now that I say that, I actually want to mention this. I noticed that even though I try as much as possible to detach myself from the idea of wanting, I find myself wanting a lot. And I know from what I've studied and read and just heard from, old sages and Zen masters and gurus, is that once you drop the wanting, especially my Baba said this, Ram Dass, once you not want anything, you can have it all. And I feel like in that sense, it's like, since you don't want anything, you have everything, basically. And I completely understand this. And even though I don't want anything luxurious in life, I don't want to be a millionaire, I don't want, like, super nice cars and, like, all this, like, materialistic stuff, I would say. I find myself wanting the simplest of things, the smallest of things. Like, I remember I was listing something yesterday. I was like, man, I just want this, and I just want that, and I just want this. And then as I'm listing it, I'm like, wow. After all this work that I do and all this, like, reflections of detachment and not needing, I still find myself wanting, like, listing things that I want. And it was, like, super small, stupid stuff, like, oh, I just want, like, a white scarf, because I have, like, this orange and red scarf that I love so much, but, like, I don't know, I like matching, so, like, I feel like I can't wear it with everything. Like, it'd be nice if I had a white one. Or, like, what was the other thing? Oh, I wanted a poncho. Or, like, I want, what was the other thing? I just want, like, small, like, a yoga block. Or, like, maybe I'll go, like, I want a pull-up bar. Like, just small stuff that, like, is not even necessary. Like, it's not even necessary, but I still find myself wanting these things. And because I want those things, I find myself like not I guess not upset, but like just like feeling of lack. But why should I'm lacking because I don't have a white scarf, because I don't have a pull-up bar? Like it just doesn't make any sense. But from those feelings of wanting comes this feeling of lack. But then when I acknowledge it and be like, what the heck, I have everything that I could possibly need, not even want. I mean, want too, but from wanting comes more wanting. So I have everything that I need. I have food in my fridge. I have a shelter. I have a home. I have a job. I have money to survive off of. I have money to save. I have books to read. I have more than enough that a lot of people don't have, and I should be grateful for these things. Especially, I think all of us should be grateful for the stuff that we have. We have families that care for us if we go through bad times, friends to help us, we have animals to love us, we just have a lot. We have a lot, and we should learn to be grateful about that. And we should also we should acknowledge that there are still those wantings of small, maybe material things, or like just things that aren't completely necessary, and notice that those things bring feelings of lack. And when we start to feel those feelings of lack, we should become acknowledgeable of them and realize that we're not actually lacking. If anything, we're very rich. We're very rich in mind, in body, and in soul. But yeah, that just made me me saying that just made me think of that. So that was something I wanted to say. But also, back on to what I was saying, I find myself wanting, I guess I would say, a master at this time. And this was something that I've been contemplating for a few years now. But everything that I've read, tells me, not everything I've read, but a lot of things that have made me settle on not looking so much for a master is that, everything around you is the master. The people you surround yourself are the master, or guru to say. Ram Dass says that the guru is always with you even before you meet him. He said, if you don't have a guru, I'll let you borrow mine. It's Maharaji. But these people are my gurus. Baba Ram Dass, Maharaji, even people like Joseph Campbell, Alan Watts, if you guys listen to him, Muji Baba, Lao Tzu, just all these people that have spoken before, the Bhagavad Gita, Ramakrishna, all these things, all these texts that already exist, these are all the guru. These are all people that I'm learning from and studying from. But and that was just something that I've seen a lot, is that it's not necessary to have a guru, like a physical guru. It's not necessary. Like, you're surrounded by the people that you surround yourself with, bring up your attachments. Like, I'm so grateful for like past relationships that have brought things out of me that I need to work on, things that I didn't know I need to work on, things that make me angry, like super small stuff. Just that's the guru, showing you everything that you're still lacking and that you need to fix, not to fix, but to develop more and better, so you become wiser. But I see everything as the guru. I see everybody as my teacher, everything around me as teaching me constantly. And that's something that's sat with me and kind of like swayed my mind away from the wanting of a physical guru. But recently, I don't know why. I also read something today in a book that said, like, finding a master and how to find a true master, instead of like fake leaders and stuff who just want like money out of you or to sway you off the path or something like that. But I've also read other things that says it is necessary for, like, not that it is necessary, but it's a very big help. And I've always understood this. And then I've also read some stuff that at some point you are going to need a master. You are going to need a physical guru. So I've kind of read all perspectives on it, of not needing one, of needing one, of not it being necessary, but it being helpful. But I've just been thinking a lot about it lately, about actually going to find one. I think that's kind of when why I started going to the temple. So I found that temple from a YouTuber that I watch. His name's Vashidadas. I've mentioned him in previous episodes, or Koi Fresco, as he used to go by. But he used to go to this temple when he lived in California. I think like his parents live in California, but he's like traveling all the time, so like you can't really say he lives in California, but that's kind of like his home base, I would say. But yeah, so he used to go to this temple, and even I even knew this before I even moved out to California. But I decided to start going to this temple because this was where he found his Swami, which is one of the main Swamis of the temple and stuff. And I even met him and everything. But I also read something today that says, like, because there's so many paths, but it's all one path, right? And some paths may not resonate with you or help you get to this certain path, right? So my original intent was to go to this temple, meet the Swami, and think maybe he can become my Swami, you know, become my teacher. But I guess I just didn't resonate that much with the Vedic philosophy at the temple, even though I'm still gonna go to their talks and stuff, and maybe some classes. But I didn't see it as like this is the temple that like this isn't gonna be my Swami, or like I just didn't feel like, oh, this is my master, you know what I mean? But I also find myself wanting to travel and look for a master, and not travel specifically to find the master, but travel and then hopefully find one on the way, or like run into my master when I'm ready. I just know that, and I've even read something before that says when the student is ready, the master will appear. So I just know that whenever the time is right for me to find a master, he'll come, or she'll come. Yeah, it's just something that's been on my mind these past couple days or weeks, maybe. But if I travel and trade with a master, right, I'm gonna have to leave behind, like, unless the master's here, then I don't have to, like, leave behind anything. But I truly want to dedicate myself to training, and especially now. And I don't know if it's the spring or something, but I always get super motivated during this time of year. And maybe it's just, like, a seasonal thing, but then again, even in the beginning of this year, I said I need to get on my stuff. I need to train harder. I need to study more. I need to dive deep into my path, because this is my passion. I want to say my purpose. I don't feel a call to anything else rather than to indulge myself in these practices, in these studies, in these philosophies. And it's the only thing I really feel truly aligned with. It feels like my true self, my soul self. I find it hard to relate to others. More recently, I've been able to relate to a lot of people, but not so much like relate. I know, and then even in these situations, like, wow, like, you know, I find people who understand me, but then deep down, it's just like I still feel like myself, like by myself. I don't feel one with a community, or one with a person, you would say. I still feel as an individual, and I guess maybe that's good. Maybe you're supposed to always feel like that, but then again, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm referring to a time where I didn't feel like that, when I was in a relationship once where I felt like I was with the other person, like we were one being, right? And then kind of like when something happened, I was like super heartbroken and super shocked, because like I guess he didn't feel the same way. So it was like super devastating, because I was like, what? We were basically one. And I think he saw that. I think he did feel that way, and he lost his individualism, and that's why he wanted to leave, because we were becoming one, basically, and he couldn't really understand himself anymore. It was kind of just like we were the same person. So I completely understand that. So I wonder if now, like, am I gonna be able to, like, is that even a thing? Like, should I don't even know, like, should I feel like I should be one with another person? But then again, like, I also read this poem. Who's it by? It was a poem that it was like talking about relationships too, and it's what's that? The poems are in a movie that I watched, The Prophet, but I don't know who the poems are from. I spoke to somebody who actually was like, no, these are all poems from somebody. But anyways, he was talking about the relationship of, like, man and woman, you know, like, be one but remain separate individuals. So, like, I'm thinking of my relationship now, right? Like, I feel so like at one with my boyfriend, but then I also see our individuals, and I completely love it, because, like, I understand, like, learning from that first relationship about, like, what happened with the whole, like, you know, losing yourself and stuff. I completely appreciate what me and my boyfriend have now, right? But then, like, maybe it's kind of like the reoccurring feeling of loneliness, right? Something I've always had, even within, like outside of relationships and stuff, like being alone for a year, or, like, being in a relationship that the person didn't understand you and stuff. I always felt alone, like I couldn't relate to anyone, especially because I didn't have any friends. This was, like, after I graduated high school, you know, so like all the friends or fake friends or whatever that I made in high school or whatever, like, I'm not going to school anymore, so obviously we're not talking, right? Those are, like, the fake friends, you know, school friends. So, like, I didn't have any friends outside of school, only, like, the relationship I was in. And then that relationship I was in, we couldn't even, like, relate on a spiritual level, right? Like, the other person just didn't really, like, care for spirituality. And inside me, I have this deep quest within me, you know. I'm like, I must change the world and travel, and I feel all this inner knowledge and deep philosophies within me, but I have no one to share them with, right? So I spent so much time keeping this stuff inside, and it was very lonely because I didn't have any friends to talk to or anybody to relate to, or, like, I literally had nobody to talk to except, like, the things I was reading, you know, the books I was reading from, especially, like, the Tao Te Ching and, like, Ram Dass Be Here Now. It was just, like, I was like, wow. And even YouTubers and stuff that talk in spirituality, it's like, wow, these people actually, like, get what I'm feeling inside and what I'm thinking and what I've been reading about. But it was very like lonely not having someone to communicate with on a physical level. So now I have a lot of people that I've met who've also dive into spirituality and stuff to some essence, that I can have these conversations with, and it's very liberating because this is the first time since that first relationship that I had that I can actually, you know, talk about these topics out loud and have discussions and stuff like that. But then, like, I'm also at a level of non-duality and nowness, I would say. I'm a very now person. So, like, I can talk about these topics, but then it gets to a point where I can't relate on the level that we're talking about somebody else as separate than I, or, like, race topics or political topics, or just, like, anything that has some form of separateness and divides people. I can't relate or, like, talk much on the topic, just because, like, I can't see from that sort of point of view. Also, like, in the nowness sense, like, I remember a time where me and my friends were talking, and then just we kept talking about something that happened already, like, but it wasn't even like, it wasn't even necessary to keep talking about it because it had already happened, and, like, but we just, like, kept talking about it for some reason, and, like, but like everybody was so into the conversation, like, yeah, and that happened, and it's just like, but like there's no result from talking about it now, like it already happened. So like, why are we still talking about it? And it's kind of like, and every time this happens, I think of the Zen story or Zen koan. That's like, three monks are walking in the forest, right? 3 monks are walking in the forest, and they come to a river, and they see some like lady trying to cross the river, right? So in their philosophies or whatever they're studying, it says, you know, man can't touch a woman, or a monk can't touch a woman, right? So this one monk just like goes up to the lady and like throws her over his shoulders and like crosses the lake, right, to get her over the lake. And then the other 2 monks are like, what the fuck? But they're not saying anything. They're just like, in their heads, they're looking at each other like, what the hell? Why did he just do that? So like, then like, whatever, they cross the river, and then the 3 monks are just walking still, but the 2 monks are like, I can't believe he just did that. Like, in his head, still like thinking about it, like, what the heck? And then like, after an hour, one monk can't take it anymore, and he's like, why did you do that? Why did you touch that woman and bring her across the river? That's against our you know, our teachings. And the monk looks at him and goes, I left her by the river, did you? So it's kind of like that, you know, I left that moment back when it happened. Why are we still talking about it? Why are we still thinking about it? Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Now. Now is everything. Now is God. God is now. God is not happening back then when that whatever it is had just happened. Nowness, the present moment is literally everything. The present enlightenment is in the present moment. When you're in this very moment and there is no other moments in your head, future, past, you're overthinking something or you're thinking about something that will happen, when you're here in the present moment, that's where everything is. That's where the stillness is, the quietness is, the beauty, the love, the highest of all vibrations. There is only one moment. There is only one moment. Think about when I went back to, you know, changing different paths, right? The parallel realities, making choices and going through different paths, right? All these choices exist in the now. All of those paths are happening at the same time as now. The second you make a choice, the second I say the word I'm on a path. The second I'm on staying quiet, I'm on a different path. It's just all the choices to make are happening now. Everything is just happening now. Now is the most beautiful of all moments. It's the only moment. So, I mean, I reminisce and I talk about like, oh my gosh, remember when we did that? But all the times that I'm doing this, I'm being now talking about it. And I'm consciously trying to be in the now as I talk about it, because I know that I'm speaking of the past. I know I'm reminiscing, or I know I'm thinking of the future, but I'm thinking of the future now. Ram Dass says, what if like, for example, what if I need to book a dentist appointment? What if I need to book a dentist appointment 2 weeks from now? He says, book a dentist appointment 2 weeks from now, but be here now while you're doing it. Yeah, you can plan a birthday party, but be here now while you're doing it. You can reminisce, you can do all this stuff, but be in the present moment as you're doing it. All past and future exist in the mind. They're not happening in the physical. The only thing that's happening in the physical at the moment is now. That's happening right now. And that's all that basically encompasses my mind, especially in times of reminiscing and thinking of the future, you know? Sometimes I find myself too caught up in the future and I get anxious and stuff. I have to remember, be here now, be here now, be here now. But yeah, those are just some things I find myself not really struggling with, but things that kind of keep that feeling of loneliness alive, even though I'm never alone. And I recorded a video like this like 2017, because I was trying to like do YouTube videos, and like I still kind of want to do YouTube videos, but I feel like this podcast is way easier. But I did a whole topic, like a whole video on loneliness, and any spiritual book says you're never alone. Loneliness shouldn't arise because you're never alone. You're always with everythingness, this everythingness vibration that's happening right now. God is happening right now. You're never alone. You're always one with the universe. You're always one with everyone. You're not alone. You're literally one with everyone. So how can you be alone? The feelings of maybe relating to others can be a struggle, as for me, for anyone. But yeah, those are just that, you know, being here now, and also, what was the other one? Doesn't even matter. So yeah, wow, I actually talked for a while. So I think I'm gonna cut this episode short. Well, not short, I mean, I talked for a while. I'm gonna cut this episode off now. But still no updates on the book. I need to look on and see if it's on like other websites or if the price has changed, but I haven't gotten any alerts, so I'm not gonna announce anything. But yeah, I might be it's scheduled. I'm scheduled to do an interview on Saturday with someone, so that might be the next episode, so stay tuned, guys. What else? There's nothing really to announce. I guess I'll end this with some from my singing bowl. Some sounds from my singing bowl. Some sounds from my singing bowl. Okay. Well, guys, I'd really like to thank you for listening to this. I'm so grateful for everyone who listens to this. I can see you guys. I can see that you're listening, and I love it. I love it so much. Please interact. I would love to hear what you would like me to talk about. I will literally like touch any topic that kind of sounds like a topic I would touch here. So DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. And yeah, tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want me to talk about. And yeah, I wish you guys a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week. I hope that you are blessed with all the opportunities that are meant to enter your life and make you a better person, help you evolve, help you rise along with everyone else. And I hope that you took something from this whole manifestation talk I talked, and maybe you can kind of put that into everything that you do. So also, since your thoughts create your reality, don't think anything bad. Don't think thoughts of lack. Don't think thoughts of just anything that you would feel as a lower vibration. Those thoughts, like, for example, my mom said, you know, my cousin, I'm not going to say which cousin, just one of my cousins, she says she knows all about manifestation. She knows about law of attraction. She knows how it works. She's the most positive person ever. But her day freaking sucks because she has this job and her job sucks. That in itself is a low vibration, guys. You know, you can be all happy. You know how manifestation works. You know how law of attraction works. But if your life sucks, then your life's gonna freaking suck. And if you put that out, then you're putting that out. And you can say you're rich all you want, but if your life sucks, your life's gonna suck. And that's just something to keep in mind. So keep those thoughts of lack, of anything that just feels bad and gross. Keep that out of your mind. Keep that out of your mind. Keep your thoughts elevated and high. And keep that third eye open. And thank you for listening to ThirdEyeCyphs. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace.